369. So I think it would be a great idea if we talked about my second arrest. Now, bearing in mind that I really don't leave my house very often, in fact, very rarely. Now, this is after my court case has been thrown out. What you haven't realised is there was a connection between the builders. I just thought it was corruption. I just thought it was standard corruption by the council, because I have been monitoring their activity for a very long time. Again, that's another very detailed video. Stroud District Council, you tried to take my father's house from him when he had severe dementia. Louis Bodie, which is awful. Now, I know I've mentioned this before. If anyone has ever experienced Louis Bodie, it's a terrible, terrible disease. But you wanted his house. Not only had he just lost my mother, his life partner, for nearly 50 years, after serving in the Second World War, you thought it would be okay to try and take his house from him because it sat on a corner and that worked for your advantage. However, I also had no idea that because you deemed me a risk to the system, a political problem, you joined forces with the local council and various different departments of the government. I can't believe I'm saying this. Surely this must be a movie script, right? Surely this can't be happening in England. Surely I'm living in one of the other countries I've lived in. For instance, Thailand. I mean, maybe you wouldn't be surprised if I lived in a Southeast Asian country and I said this was going on. But no, this is England, and guess what? This is the countryside. This is in the Cotswolds. Wow. So the things I'm about to tell you again are completely unbelievable. So at the stage I thought it was just normal corruption by a property developer. Beards, I see you. And you know I do. Because the day this happened, I called up the head office of Beards to report an issue because I was truly concerned that there would be a loss of life. Now, they'd already ignored me multiple times, but now I realised that it was just to wind me up, really. But I was really worried that children could get underneath the fencing. And so there was a number, because the people on site and the site manager would not take any notice of me whatsoever, and actually assaulted me. They assaulted me and threatened me multiple times, and I have thousands of hours of footage, video footage to prove that, and they know I do, which is the other reason they're coming for me. The day I reported them to their head office, I thought it was a really, really, really good idea not to sit in my little bungalow on my own. I thought I was being responsible. I have the pictures. So outside on their property development behind my house, there's a number that you should call in an emergency. So I called it. It was a Friday afternoon, and I was concerned kids were going to get in there over the weekend and loss of life or have a severe injury. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to walk to my nice new local pub. The local pub in Minch in Hampton, a lovely, beautiful place. The reason I'm there and my family were there is because my uncle in the Second World War was my father in Burma, in the jungle, as code breakers, working on the Enigma code. I'm very lucky. Yes, my uncle who you'll probably know if you're a local as the assistant manager in Lloyd's Bank in Nailsworth. The reason he was an assistant manager and never a manager is because if you became a manager, they could move you, and there was no way he was going to move away from Nailsworth. When my father came back from the Second World War, he took his little Vespa and he drove from Norbury in London, and he drove his little Vespa all the way to Gloucestershire before there were motorways to try and find his friend from the jungle. The first person he asked was like, yes, we know Brian. He's a very interesting character. And they became lifelong friends. Hence when he was alive, he was my uncle, and his daughter is my father's goddaughter. I was very lucky to spend every summer there. People I went to school with will know every summer I came back and we had to discuss what I did over the summer. I was very, very lucky, I was very blessed. I always got a detention from school because nobody believed it, that I lived for the whole summer in this beautiful, beautiful countryside with these amazing, interesting people, very arty, antique shops, just lots of people being nice to each other, being very blessed to be alive after the war and still be in contact after losing so many people. Which is why when I thought I could go to the local pub that had just reopened after a refurbishment and a buyout, where my mother's wake was, I thought it'd be a safe space to go. It's literally 1.5 minutes walk down the road. That's quite brave for me even to go that far. But I thought, no, this will be good. I'll go down there. I've reported some serious health and safety issues. And that's where it all went wrong, because I didn't realise the connection at this point. I didn't realise I was being monitored 24/7. I had no idea these people were going to come for me. I had no idea who their connections were. And actually, it's only recently I've found out how it all worked. And I've written to my lawyer and my friends, the remaining friends who've been very close to me and who've been very brave. And this is not without saying all these other people who've offered me help, and it just hasn't been fair. They know. I said to them, I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out there's a connection to what's happened. So let me tell you what happened. So I sit in this pub on my own. There's a local chap. We have a few drinks together. There's no problem. Next thing I know, again, it's another very confusing experience. I don't understand what's happening. All of a sudden, there's a problem. All of a sudden, I'm being spoken to outrageously, like disgustingly. I've been told, again, I can't, when you're not expecting it and you don't understand the drivers for this, because it is planned. It's planned. So how can you? I thought I was in a safe space in my local pub. I now realise it was another planned attack. They've made an excuse. They've made an excuse. I know who you are. I know what the connection is. Unfortunately, they didn't decrypt your name. I know you want people to think I'm mad, and I know you want people to think in Minchinhampton, where I live, that I'm evil and I'm twisted and I should just be arrested all the time and I'm a disgusting individual. But guess what? I'm not. I'm quite intelligent. In fact, you've done me a massive favour, because you've made me realise I'm a lot more intelligent than I realised I was. So thank you for that. What you did to me was outrageous. Again, I seem to be using... I wish I had more words for disgusting, outrageous. You made an excuse You picked a fight on me when I said I'd like to speak to the manager because I'm shocked, quite frankly. You said, we're calling the police. And I said, okay, fine, we'll call the police because all I'm doing is asking to speak to the manager. Again, I know who you are. I know what's happened. If you want to be involved in stuff like this, make sure people who are discussing it aren't going to get caught and they're using their encryption devices. The police arrived, and when the police arrived, I said, hi, I think you're looking for me, because, again, I hadn't really fully understood that apparently, so somebody's just commented, thankfully, on YouTube, that I'm a targeted individual now. That is a term for it. So thank you for that. I really, really appreciate that, because now it's starting to make sense about what's happening. So 3 police people turn up. I'm very nice when they arrive. Hi, it's me. I don't really understand. I've just spoken to the manager. Next thing I know, I'm being dragged out of the pub. Dragged out in front of in a local community. I'm on my own, but they know that. They know this, and that's why they think they can bully me. Outside. I mean, there's so much detail to go behind this, but let's just say it didn't end well for me. I was attacked. I was bullied. I was attacked. I was taken to the floor. These people were nasty people, but they clearly, in hindsight, they came for me. Now I know it's planned, and again, I can prove that. So these 3 police people decided that they were going to take me down. I'm like, oh, not again, please. I can't even express. I mean, luckily, again, some of this stuff I actually recorded because I'm a little bit on guard now. So there are some other people involved in this. And you know I was recording when you assaulted me. And I didn't even make a complaint. I never mentioned that to anybody, because I didn't know what was going on. And I'm sure you weren't given the right information as to why I was being bullied. I think you probably fell for it. I don't know that. I don't need to know that. I don't care about that. All I know is I was attacked outside my little local pub. I started screaming, hoping, thinking that somebody in the local pub would come out and record it on their phone. No, you all stayed in the pub. I'm on my own, but now I realise it was part of the plan. Goodness knows what you were saying about me. I have no idea. So 3 of you and me. I'm attacked, assaulted again. Handcuffs are put on me again. I'm thrown in the back of one of your wagons. I have my hand again handcuffed behind me. I'm screaming in agony. Nobody wants to know. I'm face down in your van. I have the pictures to show where my top of my nose is all cut. And then you decide that you're going to put your foot down in that van. I think this was about 8:30, 9 o'clock in the evening. You're going to put your foot down over every single speed bump. You're going to make me pay. I can't believe this is going on. I do not stop screaming because I want somebody to take notice. But guess what? Nobody does. I'm sure they've branded me some kind of psychotic idiot. What, for screaming? I'm sure that was some kind of advice that they gave after Wayne Couzens kidnapped Sarah Everard and murdered her, and said, you know what, Say no, I won't be arrested. Scream. Run in the it does not work. When they want you and you're on your own, they're going to take you. I am sure now, in fact, I guarantee you, I'm going to find conversations where they wish they had done that to me, because whatever they do to me, I haven't stopped fighting. I'm not going to. I arrive at the police station, probably further away than I need to be. But I don't know, because I'm not an expert in that. I'm assaulted again once I arrive at the police station. At some point, probably, I don't know, probably about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, I realise, actually, I can make contact with my lawyer. Now, I have a lawyer. The first time this happened to me, I didn't have a lawyer because I've never experienced this. So I asked repeatedly to contact my lawyer, which they refused. I kept asking. I kept pressing the buzzer saying, I am allowed contact. I'm allowed to let somebody know. So when I did, I said, I need my phone because I don't know my lawyer's details off by heart. When I did, I got the phone number out. I got the phone out. I got the number. A policewoman said to me, give me your phone now. And before I had a chance, she snatched it off of me while it was still open. So the code was still there. And I'm guessing this is how they managed to put the tracker on me, because I know they have, because it's very clear, and I'll publish the exact details of how they managed to do that. So that is one of the drives. It also looks like that they wanted my keys to the house and some other things, but I'll be very clear about that later on. Apparently, because I didn't want to give my phone up immediately after trying to get my lawyer's number when they should have given me that right immediately, I was picked up in only a way I've seen happen in a movie. I had one person on one leg, I was flipped over. I had a person on one leg. So basically I looked like I was skydiving. I was screaming in agony. Oh, and how they laughed. How they laughed, how they enjoyed it. And then they threw me back into my cell. What is going on? How is this being allowed to happen? What happened after that? Unfortunately, it's going to be a whole new video. I spent the night in the cell. I was attacked 3 times. Because they didn't have the patience, this is one of the necklaces they ripped off my neck. In the morning, I was told I didn't do anything to be arrested for. Just want to say that again. In the morning, I was told I didn't do anything to be arrested for. That I wasn't drunk and disorderly, as they said, because I wasn't. What they said now is I had attacked an emergency worker. Now let's just be clear here. The first time they said first time I was arrested, the original charge, the 3 years previously, they said this guy thought I may headbutt him or I may spit at him, which turned into something more significant. Every time I questioned that and said, well, that's not true. So now I've been assaulted through the night by 3 different groups of police. The reason they get away with this is because nobody wants to relive when these things happen. Because everybody knows nobody's going to believe a word you say. Well, you must have done something. No smoke without fire. So now I've done nothing. They've admitted I shouldn't have been arrested in the first place. And now they're saying I've headbutted an emergency worker, which is and it's the tallest police person, which really, I'm only about the height of his knees. And at worst case, when they were attacking me, possibly the bun I was wearing, where my hair was up, possibly could have glanced across a cheek. But I know they wanted a second charge on me. This was the plan. And they're doing this to people all the time. Next thing I know, they want my medical records. Why do you want my medical records? They're coming to me, asking me for my medical, not my lawyer. Luckily, I have a lawyer at this stage because I didn't the first time. It doesn't stop. It doesn't end. They make it very clear. I have new footage and new recordings. They tell me time and time again that they're coming for me. I called the police because I was being threatened by the builders. Turns out it's not the builders. I already knew they weren't builders, but I couldn't tell them that. So we were playing the game again. I'm seeing you, you're seeing me, I'm watching you, you're monitoring me, I'm watching you. This is ridiculous. We've got acts of terrorism in this country and they're watching me in a bungalow. They're following me to the local pub when I only leave the house about once a year with a plan to attack and arrest me to get a second charge. I've mentioned this before, but I also know and have it confirmed about their plans to run me off the road in an Aston Martin, say I was drink driving, plant drugs in my house, and they're just some of the things that I think is acceptable to say on here. It's a lot worse than that. Anyway, that's just sort of some overview of the details of my second arrest. And the messages they want to give to a person who's a risk and a political problem for challenging them and saying, well, hang on a minute, I haven't done anything wrong here. My family's a good family. But no, apparently it's a thing and there's many more of us out there. So whether you like these videos or not, if you think maybe some of the messages are the same, I'm just going to keep going. I have a lot of data. I have a lot of information. I've made a lot of videos. And I'm going to keep telling you because I need you to know what's happening. I need you to hear what is happening. You want to look me up? I'm on LinkedIn. I'm a professional person. I've worked for about 20 FTSE 100 companies. I worked all over the world. I work for directors all over the globe. I'm a troubleshooter. I make things a better place. I try and right the wrongs. If you've worked for me, you'll know I'm a pain in the backside because I want to do the right thing. I know that. Does that mean you can terrorise me, bully me, threaten me repeatedly, arrest me, attack me, assault me? I have no human rights. I have no human rights whatsoever currently. None. It's really quite hard to sign off these videos. I feel like I should be giving a different message. I can't believe this is the message that I'm giving to you. It's not one of negativity. It's not one of fear, because that's what they want. If we're scared, if we fear anything, and I mean on any topic, that's what they want. That's how they get control. It sounds extreme, but it's happening. Please be brave. Please like, share, download, speak to your friends, have a chat about stuff. Be aware. Please be aware. Start looking up. It's not just me. They just picked on the wrong person. They thought I would yield. They thought they would beat me. They thought they would intimidate me. They thought they would assault me. They thought they would threaten me. They thought they would destroy me. But I'm still here. But I'm one of the lucky ones. So many people have come to me with stories. People have taken their lives. All you need to do, like, share, download, or even just chat amongst yourselves. Please, please, please. It's so important. This really needs to stop.